Good morning to day 3 in Venice, Italy, and yes, I just walked into a dead end. Today I started out the day right with an excellent cup of coffee and a delicious custard croissant. Little did I know this little friendly coffee shop was going to be my place to go for the rest of my stay. The first stop in my plan today is to check out the Basilica de Santi Giovanni e Paolo. The sheer size of this basilica is just unbelievable. It is one of the largest churches in Venice, built in the 13th century to hold large congregations. If the outside impresses you, check out the inside. This is one of the few churches that allow filming inside, so that is a bonus. Inside, there are amazing paintings from famous painters such as Giovanni Bellini, Veronese, and Tintoretto. The Giovanni e Paolo Basilica is also the final resting place for 25 doges of Venice. This amazing white marble building next to the basilica is Venice's hospital. And just look how tiny everyone is compared to these two buildings. I found that pretty amusing as I'm watching this clip right now. The next stop on today's list is the famous and quirky Libreria Acqua Alta, translating to High Water Library. This library is famous for storing their books in gondolas and bathtubs to protect them when flooding occurs, and they have a lot of books, from ceiling to tub. This place is famous for their stair of books in the back, and it is also an Instagram favorite. I even got someone to take a picture of me in exchange for taking a picture of them. Win-win situation there. Now, on top of the stairs leads to a view of the canal, and it's quite a novelty just climbing onto the books. Now, the top of the stairs leads to a beautiful view of the canal, and if you're lucky, there might be a train of gondolas just passing by. After that, I just explored Venice aimlessly until lunch. It was a Saturday, so Venice became a lot more active than the last 2 days I was here. There were more tourists, and the locals are also all out enjoying their weekend. Today also happens to be the first day of Carnival, meaning the first show is happening that night in the Cannaregio district. I also planned to see it, but things didn't work out the way I planned it, but I'll get into that later. Right now, I was just having fun, walking around, observing the city, the people, having my very first gelato. The flavor I chose was cheesecake, and it was delicious. I was definitely in high spirits early that day, not knowing the frustrating and freezing event that was going to transpire later that night. But for now, let's just enjoy some more of Venice. For lunch, I went to this restaurant that Mike Chen went to when he was in Venice. He absolutely loved the pizza that he had, and since I needed Venice to redeem their pizza credibility from my last pizza experience, I decided to order another one as well as another spritz. Very good choice. The pizza and the spritz was far more superior than the one I had last night. Hey guys, so today is the first day of Carnival and we need to head over to the neighborhood of Cannaregio because the 6 p.m. show is starting on the river. So let's get going. We still have a bit of time, so let's explore the Jewish ghetto first before we head over where we need to head over. I eventually made my way to the Cannaregio district. My goal was to stop by the Jewish Ghetto before going to the spot where they were going to show the Carnival starting show. But I stumbled onto this beauty first. This is the Church of Madonna del Orto, built in the 1400s. Unfortunately, I thought I didn't have time to take a peek inside, since a peek usually means a good half hour or an hour for me. I would have loved to have seen some incredible artwork of one of Venice's greatest artists, Tintoretto. In fact, this church is Tintoretto's final resting place. In a small little island at the center of Cannaregio, connected with 3 bridges, is the oldest ghetto in history, the Jewish Ghetto. It is theorized that the word ghetto originated here, but it has been up for debate for many years among scholars. The Jewish Ghetto was created in 1516 to keep the Jewish community segregated from the rest of Venice. There used to only be one bridge, a drawbridge that was drawn up every night at 6 p.m. and lowered the next day at 12 p.m. The history of the Jewish Ghetto is extensive and fascinating, but I don't want to go deeper into it since I hardly explored the area on this trip. So until I do my due diligence, that was a tongue twister, I won't say any more. But you can always look up its history. It's quite interesting. Now let's get to the epic fail of the entire trip. Okay guys, I am back, and just to let you guys know, I totally failed in watching the show. That's right. I was in the right area in the beginning, but I had like 2.5 hours to wait, and I really needed to go to the bathroom. So by the time I came back from the bathroom, they kind of closed off the section, and I thought that was fine, like the main section, cool, it's closed off. Over here on the side, past the bridge, there was more gates and other people waiting, and I kind of assumed that the show was just going to, you know, float across it, but that didn't happen. The show just stayed in between the 2 bridges of the Rio de oh my gosh, I can't even say it, I'm sorry. Cannaregio, there you go, Rio de Cannaregio. And I wish people would have wrote about it. I know that I've researched about this, and I've read so many blog posts and read so many inserts in websites about this very show, and nobody mentioned that you have to be between the 2 bridges or you're not going to see anything. So yeah, so this is me telling you. I'll definitely put it on my blog as well, because if I had known, I probably would have tried to hold my pee for the next 3 hours, because I really wanted to watch it. And I've seen so many photos and little video clips on it, and it looked great, but unfortunately I wasn't able to, and I don't think I'm going to try as hard for tomorrow's show because I don't want to be waiting around for like 3 hours and waste my time. But yeah, but this is what I have captured of the show. Let's check it out. So that was that. I was a bit grouchy, mainly because I was freezing, but the walk back to my Airbnb was pleasant, and I got to see some great Venetian masks and costumes, among other interesting things along the way. But I do plan on coming back in a couple years for Carnival so that I can catch that show, you guys. I really wanted to see that show, but there's always next time. So that concludes day number 3, and I will see you in day number 4. Thank you so much for watching, and happy wandering.